Hey guys, I just got the worst possible news ever. I was supposed to be moving down to Tampa in 3 days. I got my dream job. I found a beautiful apartment and I was set to be down there on Thursday. And I received a email stating that because I submitted my documentation later than they would have liked, they're revoking my hiring process. So now I don't have a job there. I lost my dream job. I don't have my job here in St. Louis because I quit my job to go down there for this job. I can't get rehired at my job because my position was already filled. So I am jobless and my lease for my apartment is up. I don't even have a bed in my apartment. I have nothing to sleep on. I have nothing in my house. I signed a lease and I'm jobless in both places and I don't know what to do. This was not planned. I did not have this even as an option. I called the lady at HR. Is there anything that I could do to fix this? And she was just like, no, the position already got filled. I know that's a lie because I went on their website and the position is still there. I just reapplied for it. But as of right now, I don't know what to do. Do I go down to Florida anyways? Because I'm in the same predicament in both places, jobless. Or do I just stay here? I don't even know what to do. I don't have a job. I have my rent for my apartment in August because I have to pay for half the month because my lease ends on the 17th. So, yeah, I don't really know what to do.
Let's ask ourselves, family, was this situation avoidable? I believe it was. So here I am in Tampa, her so-called dream city, but I have news for her. This wasn't her dream job. May have been her dream city. I don't know why. I mean, I live in Tampa. It's not all that, but I digress. But I don't believe this was her dream job, and I'll tell you why. If it had been her dream job, when they said to her, we need additional paperwork, whatever, guess what? She would have sent it the same day. But what happened? She took so long that the company looked at their watch, they looked at the calendar, and they said, apparently she don't want this very much. You know what? We're going to move on. And even though she says she saw the posting again later and that the position is open, here is what I suspect. They didn't want her that badly. In other words, you can get a job and you may be the top candidate amongst the pool that they have. However, they're looking for an even stronger candidate. I kind of suspect that's what it was. And the fact that they were looking for someone who was proactive. So, yes, she was hired, but she had not, and this is what I suspect the paperwork was. I'm going to suspect it was final paperwork for payroll and proof of citizenship, which they will typically ask you. And they may not tell you that until they offer you the position, because those are confidential documents. So why hand over your social security card and all that if we haven't offered you the job? She says it was her dream job. No, because whatever they asked her for, I guarantee it to you, after putting her through whatever hoops that she had to get the job, it was going to be simple. I genuinely believe it was probably like social security card or naturalization papers. We need your bank statements. And she sat around and sat around. She also says that she, I guess her August, around the middle of August, this is 2026, that her lease is going to run out for her current apartment. And she told all of her friends and stuff. Here's something that you may learn. Don't tell people that you're going to be leaving until it's all actually situated. Now, I cut that part out, but she had told all of her friends, hey, we're going to have a dinner party and it's all good. It's never good until you have actually been given your name tag, a badge, maybe an apron and a hat to put on. I don't know what type of job she was going for, and she doesn't say. That's when you actually have the job. The valuable lesson she learned is just because they offer it to you, then when they have follow-up stuff, you are still under the interview process. You are still being looked at to see how quick do you move? How much guidance do you need or not need? And she showed that, hey, you know what? Once I get what I want, I'm going to take my time. Bad mistake. Sorry she's in the situation she's in. I mean, it really sucks. She was talking about, should she move or not? No. If you don't have the money and you're broke, why would you go and move broke to another state? Stay right where you're at, unless you have people who are going to take your broke ass in, and then God love them if they do, while you look for a job. This was totally avoidable. Excuse me. But I am glad she took responsibility for it. So I think she gets a tambourine shake for taking responsibility. Responsibility is always good. This was totally avoidable. She didn't want the job that badly. She wanted perhaps to live in Tampa, or she wanted future opportunities that she thought that job might get her, but the job itself, no, she didn't want it that much.
This is just really unfortunate.
No, it's not unfortunate. Unfortunate is when you're headed to the airport and some ding dong rear ends you. That's unfortunate. It has nothing to do with you. This was 100% hers, which again, she acknowledges.
No one else's fault but mine. I understand. I just wish they would have let me know sooner. So
They did let you know. When they said to you, we need this additional paperwork, that was them letting you know sooner. Did you want a direct message? Did you want multiple texts? They don't want an employee like that.
that I maybe could not have done all of this that I did, but that's fine. It's no one else's fault but mine. It's been my dream to move there. That was my dream job, and I wanted it so bad. I feel like such a failure.
Well, good Lord, if you move that slow on a dream job, I'd hate to see what a nightmare job is.
I posted about it everywhere. I was so excited. I'll find something better, maybe.
The current state of the economy, I don't know if I'm the only one, but I feel like my fiance and I just work and work just to pay bills, just to afford the house, to afford groceries, to make sure that everyone is comfortable. It is a lot. And you guys can say, oh, the economy is great. Y'all, again, I voted for the current president. The economy is not great. I don't care what you're saying. Groceries have gone up exponentially. And I can say specific items because I buy the same specific items when I go to the store. I buy the same fries, milk, same fries, bread, same fries, this, that, and the other. And there's no reason for it to be increased.
Yes, there is reason for it to be increased. It's called inflation. We can't live naively in a bubble and go, just because I buy this all the time means it's not going to go up. It sucks when it does. Hey, I'll tell you one of the things though, fam. Having the price of soda go up. Do you know I stopped buying 12 packs of soda. I love soda. But it got so expensive when it topped $9. And I don't care if it says buy two, get two free. I don't need no $25 of soda sitting in my place. So I haven't bought a large case of soda in probably over a year. It's good for the waistline. But sitting there and saying, just because I buy this stuff, there's no reason for it to increase. Who says? I mean, don't get me wrong. It sucks. Groceries are horrible right now in price. But we can't sit there and say there's no reason for it to increase. Everything increases, whether we want it to or not. And let's also note that, let's let her continue because, I will just yammer on. Continue.
Right? Gas is so unaffordable. And to get to work, you obviously have to buy the gas to get there. And that's unaffordable. And it's no one's getting raises. No one's getting bonuses. I'm just stressed to the nines. And I don't know if it's just me, but
it is you.
I know 8 years ago when my fiance and I first were dating, we were able to put much more into savings. Life was much more affordable. And mind you, we were making less then.
This is not hard. This is basic lifestyle creep 101. So she says that 8 years ago, life was better. Well, you know what? When I was 8 years old and I'm now 59, I remember I could go to the quarter grocery store, was Albertsons, and I could buy the biggest apple my little palms could hold. And my dad used to give us a quarter, and we were guaranteed to buy the biggest apple on the shelf. Now it takes up to 8 quarters, and that's just to get one. See, we can't live our life, guys, going, well, 8 years ago it was really good. 3 years ago it was better than it is now. You see, what your job is and what my job is to make sure we are always looking at our financial future. I mean, yes, we need to look at where we're at now, but for me, looking at the financial future and making predictions. And the thing is I love it, being sarcastic, when people go, there is no way anybody could be financially well off today. Yes, actually you can. I'm in better shape today than I've ever been in my entire life. I mean, my entire freaking life. I have made tons and tons of sacrifices. I continue to make tons and tons of sacrifices in time, in the money that I spend, and I don't travel that much. Somebody probably looks at my life and go, oh my God, Carrie, it's as boring as all ever. All you do is work. Well, you know what? I'm working really hard now so that I can secure a really good retirement. so that I can sit and go, you know what? I want to relax. And don't give me those stories, guys, about, well, yeah, and I kid you not, I had this conversation with a gal pal the other day in my car. We were driving, and she was like, well, you're not able to travel that much. I mean, you got bad knees now. Yeah, I have bad knees now, and I never traveled before. You think when I retire, I'm going to like, you know what? I want to go climb the mountains of the, no, not the mountains. I want to climb the Egyptian pyramids. If my ass ain't climbing the Egyptian pyramids in my 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s, I probably ain't going to be doing it in my 60s, 70s, 80s. And I actually had to explain this to someone, and I had to explain to her, you know what? I'm not the type of person that thinks, oh my God, I'm just going to do this humongous lifestyle shift change when I retire. I am looking for stability. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. So this is how I'm living my life now. Then it would be nice to be able to take maybe 2 trips to go and see family. Because when I retire and stuff, that would be nice. Here, we're all stateside. I don't need to do something lavish. She has a grown man living under the same household. Sounds like they have kids. And she talks about the price of gas, milk, and eggs. If you are broke ass because of the price of gas, milk, and eggs, guess what? You were broke before Trump became president. You were broke during the Biden era, and you were probably broke all the way back to Clinton and before. Okay. Those single things, in my opinion, do not determine your financial household. Yep, I'm broke. Milk went up to $5, $10 a gallon. That is it. My financial future is shot. See, when you sit there and you really think about it, all of a sudden you start to go, oh my God, it doesn't make sense that, the price of, what is it? The price of bread, milk, and eggs, butter, God help us, should be what determines your entire household. What might be determining your entire household, though, is how big of a car you drive. Yeah, you're driving a gas guzzler. I'd like to ask her, exactly what size is your house? Hey, how many kids did you and your fiance have? Did you by chance think that if you, combined, and congratulations to their, upcoming wedding, nuptials, whatever. Okay. That's wonderful. And I sincerely mean that. But when you got together, did you do the actually looking at the budget? Did you remember to pull each other's credit reports so one of you doesn't surprise the other one? In other words, what things did you and your fiance do 8 years back, or whenever time period they actually met with each other, so they wouldn't sit there and go, oh my God, I don't understand why the budget is so bad. It's horrible and awful. See, if we really want to sit here and we want to believe her, and we want to believe that the person that is the president is in charge of your budget, that is a pathetic way to live. Absolutely pathetic. Because it gives control to whomever's in the White House. The person in the White House didn't have a darn thing to do with whether or not you brought bread, eggs, and milk and cheese. Yes, the price of it has gone up. Yes, even I cringe. When the eggs went up at one point, I kid you not, it was like $9 for a dozen eggs. I'm like, oh my God. But you see, there's a way to actually complain about the prices, but understand that you are still protected because you have spent your years living below your financial means. So you can complain about it and we don't like it, but we can still do it. I had to get my AC fixed this past week, okay? $175 out the yin yang. Oh my God. How did I solve it? I went, oh my God, you know what? I'm so glad that 7 years ago, I decided to start this thing called a YouTube channel. And I knew that I would need extra income sources, and I knew it would be easier and it would take time to build it. So I better start now. I would ask her and her fiance, hey, what you guys done since the time you've been together that you've actually put your heads together to build future income? I'm willing to bet they've done next to nothing, but I'm telling you, it is not the price of bread, eggs, milk, the price of chicken. It is your lifestyle. It's the big dollars. It's not the little dollars. And I've said that before. And she sits there, she goes, but gas is so expensive. Well, I'm sorry, but if the gas alone is kicking your budget so that you have to make a TikTok talking about how broke you are, then you got yourself a little too much car. And I am willing to bet, I would bet you, if I were to peel apart her budget, I am willing to bet they have all the latest cable. I bet they have all the latest cell phones. If they've got kids, they're probably in all the school clubs and activities. And in many ways, I don't disregard that because I think it's important for kids to have that. But here's the bottom line. The budget that they are on is not because of who's in office. If you have a budget problem with Trump in office, and I guarantee you, like I was saying, you have a budget problem with Biden was in office, and take it all the way back. It is your budget. It is your household. What you do with that is irrespective. I think that's the word, irrespective of who's in political power. Now, is that to say that can't influence? Sure, it can. I got my $110,000 student loan forgiven when Biden was doing the student loan waiver thing. Okay. But here's the kicker. If I had not been prepared, and if I had not already taken the financial steps, if I had already taken the job requirements, done the homework to find out what was going to be needed, even when that opportunity came along to have it forgiven, I would not have been prepared. You see, just like that first gal we saw in that video. And what was it? She said she lost her dream job. It was handed to her, but she wasn't prepared to meet the demands of what they were going to need right now. This couple here, this lady and her fiance, a whole grown man, as you know, I like to call it, and I can't take credit for that term, that I heard that on TikTok. She and her whole grown man, they're saying they're broke. But I'm going to tell you, it's because of lifestyle. That's what it is. It's not her bread, eggs, and milk.